Hi boys and girls, I'm Mr. S, and this is going to be a lesson on ring toss. And actually a theme that we're going to have for the ring toss is nature ring toss in the great outdoors. I'm at a park here in Pasadena next to the mountains. So I've got my mask just in case I run into a lot of people, and you should too if you're outdoors. If it's safe for you to do this activity outdoors, I highly encourage it. And let's get started with a few exercises. We are going to do some warm-ups starting from our head down to our toes. Let's slowly roll our head in one direction. We'll do that 3, 4, and 5, and let's go the other way. 1, 2, 3, 2 more, 4 and 5. Very good. Roll your shoulders forward. A couple more times and backwards. Swing your arms forward and cross them in front of you each time. And backwards. And bring one arm and up high above your head and stretch to the side, and the other arm up, stretch slowly to the side. Very good. Let's just twist from side to side. You can let your arms be relaxed and let them flop back and forth. A couple more times. Very good. Let's march in place. So you're going to bring your knees up high. If you would like, you can slap your knees to the palms of your hands. A few more times. 2, 3, 4, and stop. And now we're going to kick our heels and touch our palms of our hands. So I'll turn to the side so you can see what that looks like. Keep going, kick those heels up. Very good. So let's shake out our legs. Shake out our arms. Shake out our shoulders. And gently shake your head. Now we're going to get the heart pumping a little bit faster. Let's do 10 jumping jacks. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good. I think we're ready to start the lesson. So today's lesson is going to be on a ring toss, and there's a few things that you're going to need. If you're going to do this indoors, or if you have a place outdoors like on concrete that's flat, you're going to need something to use to throw the ring onto. So a good idea are these water bottles. You can fill them with water, because if you don't fill them with water, they're going to be too light and the rings might hit them. So a water bottle is a good idea. You could have this size or any other size. It's fine, as long as it's not too large that the rings cannot fall over the top of them. You'll also need the rings. So the simplest ring is to get a piece of rope. I simply got a rope and cut it to about 18 inches and taped it. And this is a great ring. Now if you happen to use some rope that's really floppy and not very stiff, you can stiffen it up by wrapping it with tape. Another option for a ring is making one out of cardboard. So this is simply a piece of cardboard that I cut, and then I wrapped it with tape to make it a little more durable. And actually these are pretty good for using when you're outdoors playing one of the games I'm going to show you, because they kind of fly like a frisbee too. The other thing you'll need if you're outdoors and you're going to be playing in a grassy area or on dirt that's soft are sticks. Now you could put these sticks in the ground, but because our theme is nature, I decorated these with flowers, and I will explain why I put numbers on these, but aren't those beautiful flowers? So the way these work, for the game, you could simply put the stick into the grass and then throw the rings onto the stick. I'm going to divide this lesson up into two parts. One, activities for elementary children, and the second for secondary if you're in the middle school or high school. So for the first one, I'm going to show you how to use those bottles, but I think it's more appropriate to do those indoors if you can. So let's go back inside and I'll show you how I set up the activity for that. I'm in the hallway of my house and we're going to play a little game of ring toss here on the carpet, and I've used the bottles that are filled with water. So I've got two of my rings that I'm going to use, two of my rope rings. And what you can do is set up two bottles. If you have a partner, one partner can be at one bottle and one at the other. If you just have yourself, you could just use one bottle if you'd like. But get the bottles close enough to each other that you could start out easy. It'll be more easy. So I could actually put mine a little closer, but let me see how good I am at reaching them here. Well, I missed that one. So pretty hard. So I think I'm going to move it a little closer just to start, so I have a better chance of having some success. And this is what I'd like you to do too. So here we go. Let's try again. I got 1, 2. Very good. So you could set this up as a competition if you have a partner, or you could just practice on your own. And as you get better, you can move the bottle further away from you and see if you can improve from that distance. Well, I was close. And I made 1 out of 2. That's pretty good. A couple other ideas that you can try. You could place the bottle on a table or maybe on a chair and see how that works for you. You could also try to make the ring go around the doorknob. If you have a doorknob that's accessible like this, you can try that out. So let's see, I'm going to stand back here. You can't see me, but I'm going to stand back here about 3 feet and I'm going to try to throw this on there. All right, I got one. I got both of them. So if that is too easy for me, I would just move back a little further. But this is something that you could also try. So if you're in elementary school, you may want to start out like this with the bottles or the sticks, if you can place them outside somewhere, closer together. And as you get better, move them further apart, and you will eventually get better at throwing that ring onto the target. Or you could do like me sometimes. I try to play ring toss with my dog. Nice catch, Sadie. Come on, throw it back. Throw it back to me. Yes, that was a bit silly. Well, let's go back outside and I'll show you some more activities. Okay, we're back outside, and those activities that we did inside, you can also do outside. But these two activities I'm going to show you now are going to be more geared towards secondary students, although elementary students may want to try them too. So these are a couple games. One is ring toss horseshoe, and the other is ring toss golf. So I'll go over ring toss horseshoe. Some of you are familiar with horseshoes. You know that they throw actual horseshoes and try to make them land around a stick or a post in the ground from quite far away actually, but we're going to do it closer. So we're going to use our ring. I'm going to use this rope ring that I have, and I just put a cone out here as an example that you can use a cone too if you have one, or you can use a stick. So simply, if you have a partner to compete with, that would be great. You would take turns, and actually I suggest that you make more than one of these. 2 apiece would be great for the horseshoe game. So one partner would stand next to the horseshoe and another partner would wait. You would take turns and you would throw. Now I didn't quite make it. Then your other partner would throw. If a ringer is made, you could count that as 2 points. If no ringer was made by anybody, then the one who came closest to the post or the stick would get 1 point. So a ringer counts as twice, and a ringer is if you get that ring around the post And otherwise, you get 1 point if you were the closest one out of your pair. Again, then you would come over here, you would collect your rings, and you would go again. You'd take a turn, you'd try to make it in. I missed again. Your partner would go, and we would see who was the closest, unless one of you made a ringer, and then you'd get 2 points. Of course, if both of you made a ringer, then you'd get 2 points apiece. You could play up to 10, you could play up to 20. You could decide that on your own. Now, as far as the position of the posts, if it's too far, if you feel that you're not making it at all, move it closer. And then try from a little bit closer. You could play this game from this distance. And I still missed. It's early in the morning. Let me try that again. There we go. All right. That's the idea for ring toss horseshoes. Now let's move on to ring toss golf. For ring toss golf, you're going to need the rings and the posts or a cone, a starting point, I'll explain that, and you're going to need a scorecard. So let me show you and explain the scorecard to you. You could set it up something like this. You can have your name and the name of the person you're playing against at the top, and then a column for the hole with the numbers of the holes, how many ever holes that you want to have in your course, and then a column to put your score in, how many shots it takes you to get from hole to hole, and then you will total those numbers up at the end. To start the game, you need a starting point, so I've put the cone right here. Hole number 1 is this stick here. Hole number 2 is this stick here. Hole number 3 is way over here. Now, boys and girls, you can put as many holes, sticks, as you want. I'm making this a 3-hole course, but you can make it up to 18 like a real golf game. That would be quite a lot of sticks and things to make. I would say 4 or 5 or 6. That would be a great little tournament that you could put on. So, with your scorecard and with your partner, you will take turns. You will have your starting point. Hole number 1 is there. I'll go first and throw, then my partner will. That counts as 1. You'd walk to your ring, take a turn again. There. It took me 2 throws to get it into hole 1. So I would go to my scorecard and I would mark down 2 for hole 1. You would then continue on, starting from hole 1 to hole 2. Bad, I got pretty close. Partner takes a turn, come up and walk, take your turn. What was my score for hole 2? That's right, 2. So 2 throws for hole 1, 2 throws for hole 2. How many do I have right now? I have 4. What if my partner needed 3 throws to get to the first hole, and then 2 throws to the second hole? 3 plus 2 is 5. So my partner would have 5 at this point. I would have 4. Who is winning? Well, in golf, it's the lowest score that wins. So I would be winning at that point because I have 4 and they have 5. So remember, in golf, it's the lowest score that wins. Let's look at the scorecard from yesterday's game I had with Mrs. S. I scored 2, 4, and 4 for a total of 10. She scored 3, 2, and 4 for 9. A lower score, but she wins. She was on fire. Now I'm ready for my final shot. I'm at hole 2 and I'm going to throw it to hole 3. Now hole 3 is the furthest one away. So let's see how close I can get. Well, not that close, but I might be able to make it in 2. So I walk to my ring, pick it up, let's see if I can make it here. Now, there's a rule that goes along with this game. If you want to have this rule, okay. If not, I have been standing with both feet together. But if you want to make a rule where you get to take just one step with your leg, cannot move the back leg, you can do that. You can see how easy that is with that rule. Otherwise, you could play it like I'm playing it. Make sure you have 2 feet together. And I missed. Unbelievable. So with ring toss golf, you can set those holes to any distance. It's a good idea to make them different. Like from the very start to hole 1, you might want to make it short. And then from hole 1 to hole 2, a little longer. And if you're in a park, or even if you're indoors and you're playing with the bottles on a flat surface, you can make it more of a challenge. Now, I didn't show you this, but I could have moved over to where there was a tree, and I actually could have put one of the holes kind of behind the tree and then try to go around the tree with that. You might have to throw it out beyond the tree and then come back to where the hole is. So you can use obstacles out in a park like this, or even in your home. You've got chairs, you've got couches. You can make it more of a challenge to try to get the ring around the bottle or the stick. All right, boys and girls, I hope you try some of these activities and now enjoy the view. Remember, boys and girls, this is where we all live.